We're live.
Good evening and welcome to the regularly scheduled Finance Committee meeting. It is Monday, February 2nd, 2026. Members of the committee around the table are Councillor Beck, Councillor Maller, Councillor Falloon, Councillor Carson, and I am the chair of this committee, Councillor Dean. Also present are Councillor Leonard, Councillor Fish, Council Chair Hawes, Stephanie Kimball, our finance director, and Councillor Walker. We will start off with bids and purchases.
Okay, so we have multiple bids tonight. The first one is an AFM plow truck for the airport. An RFP was put out. We only received one bid. And the bid was for $542,716,000 with it, which included an extended warranty. Per the Notify Me system on the City of Bangor website, 30 vendors received notification. The airport budgeted the purchase for fiscal year 26 and staff requests approval through Airport Technologies.
Any questions? Councillor Maller, I knew you'd be the first.
I have just a general question because I get confused.
Yep.
It's obviously less than the amount that we had budgeted. So where does the leftover go?
I
guess the question is, what else can you spend it for besides a plow truck?
It would go back into their budget, and if we wanted to use the funds, we could ask permission to use them for something else in the future.
Yeah, you're fine. Good evening, Jose Acevedo, Airport Director. To your question with regards to what happens with the funds that are left over. So obviously during the budgeting process, we get a couple of quotes just to have a target amount. In this case, what happens with the bid that comes under the budgeted price, we either reallocate that for other needs as they come up within the airport. Something to keep in mind is, again, that the airport is an enterprise fund. So revenues that are, per federal regulations, revenues that are generated at the airport must remain at the airport. So as long as they remain within the capital expenditures or operations of the airport, it basically can be reallocated to the airport.
With approval of the council?
Yeah, if it's obviously an expense that is going to exceed a certain threshold, then obviously that goes in the.
That was my only concern. It's not that I didn't think you were going to be handling it properly, but I just thought I needed to be refreshed on.
Yep.
Because this was a more substantial amount
Yes.
than we usually see.
So any expense that is obviously larger than the threshold, then obviously would follow the procurement process.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion.
Second.
Motion, we have a second. This will be seen at full council next Monday, the 9th. And second up is baggage belt upgrade.
Yes, baggage belt upgrade, hardware and software. This is also for the airport. They're requesting to award this contract to Harris Hill Automation out of Poland, Maine. This is to provide and install primary and backup baggage servers in the TSA baggage inspection room at the airport. 3 bids were reviewed and evaluated. This was the lowest bid, and funds for the project have been identified from savings in other projects.
Questions? We have a motion. Have a motion, we have a second. This is under our $250,000 threshold, so the second from this committee will move it forward.
Yes.
And we do not need to go to full council. Next up, fuel farm and storage facility, engineering services, phase 1.
Okay, so airport staff again is recommending approval to award this to Stantec Consulting out of Portland, Maine. 6 responses were received and the selection committee evaluated them based on the criteria outlined in the actual RFQ. Stantec showed expertise and exceeded expectations with a high degree of experience. The engineers are based in Portland. The airport conducted an independent fee estimate, which came in at $995.44, but Stantec's proposal was well below that at $862. As such, the airport requests the bid be awarded to Stantec.
Council Bloom?
Were they the lowest bidder?
Why don't we have Jose come up and give an explanation of the IFE process?
Back with you as a Saavedra Airport Director. When it comes to engineering services, usually the way the procurement policy is framed is that you do not want to award it solely on the value, but rather on the way the procurement policy is described is on qualifications and the price amount. So in order to meet that criteria, the way we got to that conclusion is by getting the independent fee estimate, and that gave us a ballpark of more or less what would be an appropriate fee, and then look at the qualifications. When it came to qualifications, we reviewed all 6 proposals. There were 3 that were kind of top tier qualified firms. And out of those 3, Stantec was the most qualified that stood out from the 3 firms. In addition to the close proximity and given situations that we've had in the past with engineering firms based out of a much further away locations, it made more sense for us to pursue it with Stantec.
And this may be related to the IFE, but I noticed on the actual bid tab, there was no bid amount. Are they already hidden because of the IFE process?
So what happens is that for professional services, you don't start with the price number because again, there's instances in which you might get a lowest bidder that might have close to no qualifications, but might still meet the bare minimum of the threshold. And it puts the city at a disadvantage to start with negotiating from a price standpoint than from a qualification standpoint.
Okay.
So once the qualification criteria has been assessed, then you go into a price negotiation. And in this case, we did the independent fee estimate to help us better navigate through the negotiation process. And so because it was significantly lower, we feel comfortable moving forward here.
Okay, so I don't know what I'm hearing, working as intended.
Anyone else? Well, thank you for that clarification. Entertain a motion.
Second.
Motion, we have a second. This will move to full council next Monday. Next up, we have a bids and purchases for boom flail mower.
Yes, this is from Public Works. We went out to RFP for a boom flail mower. It also resulted in one bid from the Alamo Group for $43,981. Again, 30 vendors received notifications of this RFP through the website. They did budget a replacement for fiscal year 26, and staff is requesting approval for this one for $43,981.
Questions? Councilor Beck.
The original budget amount of $75,000, was that for one mower or were they thinking they could try to get multiple for that same amount? Or within that amount?
As far as I know, it was for one. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're getting some good deals.
Yeah, right?
Maybe there was a sale.
It's what that's.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion.
Move that recommendation.
We have a motion, we have a second. We will go with staff recommendation. Next up is emergency truck.
Again, Public Works, this RFP resulted in 3 bids ranging from 63,235 to 66,514. Staff recommends awarding the purchase to Darlings Ford based on past positive experience, quality, and extensive history. The budget amount was $153,750 for the emergency truck, as well as the next one, which is the small plow truck, or $76,875 each. The $65,200 is below that, obviously, so we recommend approval to award it to Darlings.
Questions on the emergency truck? Council Flynn.
Given that we're looking at potentially 2 vehicles from Darlings, does that give us a better price?
I was not aware of any discounts from Darlings.
Perhaps we can ask on the third vehicle.
Sure.
That's a good idea. Any other questions? Entertain a motion?
Move staff recommendations.
We have a motion, we have a second. We'll go with staff recommendation. That's a small plow trucks.
Again, Public Works, and like I said, the budget was $153,750 for both vehicles. So the budget per vehicle is $76,875, and the quote from Darlings came in at $66,893 for this one. So staff's requesting the award go to Darlings.
Questions on this item? Entertain a motion?
Staff recommendation.
Okay.
Motion. We have a second. We will move staff recommendation of the small plow truck for $66,893. And last up, we have the Sanford Brook Stormwater Trunk Phase 1.
Yes, the city council will have a second reading to appropriate the $450 for the stormwater trunk line from unassigned funds on February 9th. If funding's approved, we've requested the contract be reviewed for approval for the city council meeting also. The work is to install the stormwater trunk line across the YMCA site that is currently under construction. Director of Engineering requested and received 3 bids from contractors that were pre-authorized by the site owner, ranging from $436,982 to $486,270. So we're requesting approval to enter into a construction contract with Sargent Corporation in the amount of $436,982, contingent upon approval of funding by City Council.
Questions? I have a question. So are you saying this doesn't go to first reading, this immediately goes to second reading because we've already appropriated the funds, or do we have a first reading for this particular item?
So we already appropriated, we took it to committee to appropriate the funds, correct?
So this will only require 1 reading because it's just to enter the contract.
Okay.
Okay, great, thank you. Entertain a motion if there are no other questions.
I'll move staff recommendations.
We have a motion, we have a second. This will go to full council next week on Monday, February 9th. Do you have any updates for us?
That was the whole list. Yes, WP's been out last week. The long list of January 31st calendar year end items have been completed. I'm planning on bringing interims to the next finance committee meeting. And the only other thing is budget season is officially here.
Anyone have any questions for our finance director?
I just have a question in general. Have we set any parameters for the budget? I mean, if we said, no increases, 50% increase, have we done anything like that as a group?
We really haven't at this point.
Should we?
I would say that's up to you, counselors, if you would like to provide staff direction.
Well, I think it might be helpful to start off by providing some. If you agree or disagree with it, that's fine, but I think we should have some input at the beginning. No sense in striving for 10% if we're gonna do 5. Might as well let them know upfront what we think we need. So I don't know how we do that. We have to have a meeting
We'd have
with
to
the
have
finance
some
committee
discussion with them, yes, in the council,
okay, before the next council meeting.
before the next council meeting, it would be a special
Okay,
meeting.
we could get that scheduled.
Yeah, is there some reason why we would need to do it that quickly via special meeting? Why?
If she's starting her,
Right now, department heads are just putting together their personnel costs based on current staffing. So we won't start talking about changes to current budget probably for several weeks. So I think there's certainly adequate time to have that discussion during a normal meeting.
as long as it doesn't deter that.
It won't put you behind the 8 ball at all by waiting to a normal meeting.
Is everyone in agreement to wait until appropriate meeting?
I don't.
Anyone have any questions for Stephanie? With that, we are adjourned. It is 5:31 p.m.